Good evening and welcome to the Conversation Tree. I'm your host, Stanton Gomes. And as usual, on the Conversation Tree is where we will learn together, share ideas, and be inspired by the work of others. And we want you also to be involved. And you could use the comments for your live questions and also share the live. Take some time to share the live so that persons who didn't get the notification for the live would get to be a part of the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. And also, if you have a story to tell, just contact us if you want to be on the conversation tree. Tonight we'll be speaking with two persons from Bequia, Colin Peters and Jessica Jaja, both of the Hub Collective in Bequia. And today we will find out all about the Hub and their activities, the projects, and how you could be part of all that's going on the island of Bequia, just a few miles away from where we're broadcasting now. And Colin Peters is a creative director and a founding member of the Hub Collective. He's an artist, a social activist, musician, and he has led an extensive music career spanning over 30 years. And he has opened for renowned groups such as Steel Pulse, Shaggy, Tordwell, etc. And Jessica Jaja is a founding board member of the Hub Collective, and she's an experienced manager within the nonprofit sector in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and she's presently the full-time manager of Bequia Threadworks. She holds a Bachelor's of Science in Biology and a Master's of Art in Human Geography. Both of them are backstage, so we're going to bring them on
Nah.
now. Good night, good night, good night.
Good night. How you
Night.
doing?
What's up, Colin
Just cool,
and
bro.
Jessica?
Good.
How you doing, Stanton?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Well, I have my cup, but this is a this is a as I told you people before, this is a left-handed cup because this is the right-hand side, but this is the
All right.
see.
I gotta get a cup now, Stanton. No, you make me want to get the cup.
So what's happening? What's happening? Welcome to the conversation tree. Finally, make it under the conversation tree.
Yes, sir.
Let me get right into the program. We ain't wasting no time because it
True.
seems like we have a packed show. So tell me, Colin. Tell me a little bit about yourself. No, you're a Bequia man.
Yeah.
Bequia is an exciting place for me. Every time I hear the word Bequia, I don't know something.
Something popping.
Tell me about the Bequia man.
Yes. Well, as I say, original Becker man. By the way, thank you very much to for having us on your show this evening, and we really appreciate the fact that we could come here to share information with the public out there. So give thanks and praises for that every time too. Thank you very much, brother. Yes. Well, just to give a brief rundown about myself, I was born in Bequia. Um, been living in Bequia for quite a while, and when I was like around 19 years old, just a little after I left high school, I went to Canada to do some studies there in art and some other different disciplines. After which I returned to Bequia, and I was involved. That's the time when I was just starting to get involved in the music, and I was involved in a lot of community groups and sports groups and so on in Bequia too, which has been a really great experience for me to just be interacting with people on these levels over extended period of time in a particular community is always something good. Building up a great experience, right? Um, After that time now, as I say, I started getting into the singing and writing songs and producing the music and so on. Um, and when I was in Canada, I spent a lot of time learning about the actual arts, like painting pictures, like commercial art, a bit of art history, all of this. So this is just a brief outline, really, still, but I guess it could give you an idea of what I've been doing so far in my life.
I know you're the one of the directors for the Hub
Yeah,
Collective. So basically, you devoted your part of your life.
Yes, yes, that is very important and serious for me to dedicate my life to this. Like I've been living abroad on more than one occasions, and I feel that Bequia is the place that I'm needing the most, and is the most important place for me to be doing what I'm doing right now.
And you're part of the Rastafarian faith.
I wouldn't really say that. You put me on the spot there. Um, that is quite a long story, really, still. But
Mm,
my appearance really have more to do with my image as a musician and a free thinking person, really, still.
right.
Yeah.
So Jessica, good night again. Tell me about Jessica. I don't know you as the biologist Jessica, but tell me about Jessica.
No problem. So I'm originally from Canada. My mom is French Canadian and my father is Lebanese. I grew up in Ottawa, and I have to make sure to shout out all my family, who's probably watching right now. And I moved to St. Vincent and the Grenadines about 7 years ago to do the research for my master's. Um, and then I just got involved in volunteering in a lot of community groups, different initiatives, and things kind of progressed one thing after another. And then I moved here permanently. And as you mentioned in the intro, I now manage another nonprofit called Bequia Threadworks. And I also want to give a little shout out to Bequia Threadworks. I work with another 12 amazing, amazing women from Bequia, and we produce exquisitely sewn women's clothing. Um, so you have to check that out when you're in Bequia too.
Yeah, Bequia Treadwalks is a whole different conversation under
Yeah.
the tree.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We had to do the conversation with the we had to link up with the girls in the factory. Well, I don't know if you call it a factory, but
Production
in
center.
your production center. But that's a different conversation. Uh, but yeah, you're really doing some amazing work. Next question: what is the hub? So we're hearing about the Hub Collective all week. We're promoting the show. What is the hub all about? Or you know,
So, in a nutshell, the Hub Collective is a safe and inclusive arts education nonprofit organization. We were founded in 2017, and essentially, we exist to support and develop artists and young people in Beckway.
Yeah. Yeah. As you say, is to really try to assist in the development, evolution of our little community here by learning skills and applying them. Another thing too that we find that is very important as it relates to the hub is the fact that we have a lot of people coming out from high school every year, and I am sure that opportunities like job opportunities and stuff like that is not available for all of them, and we happen to know that the majority of them do not get that opportunity. So this is another way in which the hub is important as well. You know what I mean? After you finish high school, you could go on and learn some skills. Like we do music here, we deal with filming, we deal with painting pictures, art. So we have quite a diverse package going on here, and we intend to extend that package as much as we possibly can. The next thing too that we are sensitive about is the fact that St. Vincent and Grenadines is a tourism based economy, and we are seeing how all of this could fit right into that totally too. So all the skills and all the stuff that we learn at the hub is still based on the fact that we have a tourism based economy. So this is for me something totally important for a small community like this, and that is one of the things that inspire us to keep moving because we know we can help people.
right. So it's basically basically it surrounds arts, and I'm getting the understanding that it's also a safe place for youths basically to
Yes,
explore their artistic talent, and then you produce all of the stuff that associated with the talents to feed into the community and in the tourism sector, you said.
Yes.
So backtracking just a bit, what would have sparked the creation of the? What was the moment you realized that we need something like the hub
Mm-hmm.
to be present for the youths? What would have sparked that creation of the hub?
Well, around 2016, we had a film program. That's the first time I met Jessica. Really, I, I went to be a part of this film program that was going on in Paget Farm, and that was very enlightening for me. What we did, we actually learned to produce a film. So we made a documentary called Reclaiming Paget Farm, and the whole experience was totally great for me and everyone else that was involved too. We learned to use the cameras, we learned to do editing, we learned to position things and you know what I mean in the camera, in the frame and so on. We learned a lot of things. So that was really good. So after that point now, we had a meeting together, several people, friends and so on too, and we were just discussing all that we were just discussing the experience that we had with the film. And then everybody was so positive and so excited at the moment, so we just decided to say, well, okay, maybe we could do some more stuff in the community that could be helpful and progressive. So that's where the hobby really came from. So we came together, and from strength to strength we go, and we keep pursuing it, and we have achieved quite a lot so far. I'm very proud of our achievements so far.
Yeah, man.
So
Because when I first heard about the hub, yeah, it was really exciting for me because and then hearing about some of the stuff, it was exciting
yeah,
because this should be the kept saying that this should be the model for a lot of places. So you felt an energy after that film program
yes.
and basically continue the momentum.
Yeah, because the film program was such a transformation to in our own perception of things, even on our own island where we live here, you know. So we see the power of the whole thing, and then we had other ideas too. You know, what I mean, we have the music, we have different things, so all of it kind of just come together as one thing, still ultimately, you know. So that was great.
Right. So just to give persons and I want to say shout out to all the persons on the live tonight. We have Ryan Kozia, Bequia man. We have Lorna, Pauline, we have Winters, good night, Hippolyte, John, good night man. We have Adele, Rosie. Those were the persons who gave us a shout out in the comments. So
All right.
and good night to all the other persons locked on. We have some photos here. What we do now is try to show some photos, and we will try to give persons the perspective of where do you operate from, the building where it came from and where it is now. So let's get some photos up. So where do you operate from, Colin? Where is the hub based?
So we now have a creative arts center that we've renovated over the last about year and a half, and that's located in Port Elizabeth, which is the main harbor town of Bequia, and it's right behind the Anglican Church. Um, so this center is now open 5 days a week, and it includes, as you'll see, a training space, which is multi-purpose for all our programs and classes and that sort of thing, a music studio, and a shop that sells exclusively locally made products.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're seeing
Right.
there, is what it looked like before.
Before the
Yes.
renovation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And even when the center wasn't renovated, we were still using it actively for our festivals and our different activities and that sort of thing.
Yes.
But
So
Right.
we
But what?
these are
Hmm.
sorry, these are some of our performers here in this one, this photo. Yes.
And that's Danny. Uh, there you go. That's Danny again. She's another co-founder of the hub, and
Mm,
she takes care of the modeling segment, the
right.
fashion segment of our festivals.
And what started the timeline? What year was this? Was this photo taken?
Looks like 2018 to me.
2018. Right. Oh, that's just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now, Colin, this is you painting on the logo.
Yes, sir. Yeah. This is just after a practice session that we had for the Positive Vibes Festival too. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, you
But
could see a big contrast from the photo before with on the stairs to this one,
Hmm.
yes,
all new and fresh.
yes.
Yeah, we ended up painting the whole building. We added a new roof. We finished the ceiling, new rooms. So that's the workshop space. We have our different programs.
Right.
That's the same space there. And that's the entrance to get into the hub.
Me inside and outside.
Right. So, well, Jessica and Colin, tell me what are some of the issues you address at the hub? What some of the issues you found out while in operation?
Ah, this is very important too. Um, as we spoke briefly about the Positive Vibes Festival, and what we do normally before the festival, for like 3 months before the festival, once a week we meet together with these young people and we keep preparing for the festival. In this time now, we see it as a really great time to interact on another level with these youths, and a lot is coming out. People gaining great confidence in what they're doing. People feeling more and more inspired to do things because you give them that encouragement to make them know that they can do these things. You know, sometimes the energy and the encouragement is not that high, but around here, but you know what I mean, we doing what we can do to keep that alive because it's so important. So we have a really good chance to address many things in terms of, as we say, building confidence and I mean doing stage work, and all of this information is relating directly again to the overall development of the human. It's not just for dancing and singing, but we take this opportunity to really reason with people and show them that they have powers. Yeah. So that's one of the things that we address for sure.
Mhm.
Right.
Um, for us, it was really important to create a safe space for young people in particular. Um, you know, we know that there's a lot of underlying issues in Bequia and in other communities across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Unemployment, low literacy rates, violence in various forms, very limited social welfare programs, and we just thought, you know what, we need to address some of those issues, but from a more positive perspective, using the strengths in the community. So there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of natural ability, a lot of creativity. How do we use that to inspire positive change in the community and build on that rather than necessarily focusing on the issues themselves?
Mhm. So that will entail also identifying the talents that we speak about in the community, and even try to do some interactions with them too. Not just that they come into the hub to do stuff or whatever, but people could come to the hub. If, for instance, you're a great piano player, we have people that come to the hub who are interested in doing stuff like that. So if you are willing to come and share some of your piano skills with us at the hub, what we could do, we could set up a program for you, probably a weekly program. This is stuff that we do all the time. So you could come every Wednesday evening, for example, and just keep teaching people. So it's very informal and very open, but we see it as an opportunity always to keep moving ahead, you know? Yes.
Right. We just see a comment coming in, which is related to what we are now. Baldwin Oliver says, Colin, I love what you did with Malone. Man, that song, but the boy surprised me so much. First time I'm really hearing him sing. Well, yeah, that's what
Yes.
we're gonna get to that section just now. So
True.
yeah, so you're getting some positive feedback. Where you bring it where the talent is revealed and kind of
Yeah.
surprising persons.
Mhm.
So do you offer like counseling services maybe for children that are affected with various issues or
Well, sorry.
Go ahead.
We don't have a formal structure set up for doing counseling, but we are doing counseling every single day. Believe me. When they come in the studio, we're doing counseling. When we're rehearsing, we're doing counseling. When you don't take off your shoe when you're coming in the hub, we're doing counseling. So we are always we see ourselves like the guardians of these young people. That's what we're doing.
right? And is the is the change easy to see as in like youths who would have built up their confidence? Is it easily seen?
Yeah, I would say that because I personally have some direct experiences where people came to the hub and they want to get involved with the singing and performing and so on, and they're so terrified to just say one word in front of people, in front of other people, right? And
Mm,
after a while, you take a little chance, you break it down, you take a little time, you take your time, and eventually they come around to the idea of okay, this is cool. I could try this too. So that's been happening a lot. And once they get that, they seem to be just continuing in a fashion like that. So that's really good that the information is staying with them too.
And
and yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
I was just gonna say that the hub's become like a family, really. There's that's one thing that I really appreciate so much about this space is that we have people from all ages and backgrounds that end up working together in the hub. So you have this intergenerational connection. And when that happens, you have so many beautiful projects, so many beautiful initiatives that come out of it, friendships that last a lifetime. And I think really that source of love and rootedness in that family spirit really is what allows us to grow and go forward together. And I think that has a lot of strength.
Yes. Some of the young people, they just come here sometime and hang out with us. They're not recording, they just like the idea of being by the hub and seeing what's going on and so on. So that is precisely what we was trying to create. So we feel really good that everything is actually manifesting the way we visualize it still, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
And well, now Barbados is beginning to look at the way how the educational system, the Prime Minister for Barbados has mentioned a couple of months back that they're now gonna look, or soon they're gonna look at extending primary right through to secondary, and at some point in secondary school. So basically, they're gonna cut out what used to be common entrance, now CPA. So you're gonna go straight through, and at some point in high school, if you're not academically inclined, at that point they would already figure out, your talents. If you're a singer, if you're good at singing, painting, art, or you're good with your hands, so you could do. So, um, do you on a regular basis, or do you find kids who may not be academically inclined but are very very proficient in the arts?
I would say 90% of the people that we encounter is like that.
Mm,
Well, to be honest, I can't really to me as an experience, to as a personal experience, I see it like people who are naturally creatively inclined like that. They normally don't really go off too much on the academical side of things so much.
mm,
I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of the people are very strong with the academic still, but
mm,
the creative mind want to create.
Right.
And sometimes the academics and the structure that is set is not accommodating this sufficiently, in my opinion. Still,
For me too, I think there's a bit of a disconnect between the formal education system and the realities on the ground, and what's needed in these small communities to really thrive. You know, as Colin mentioned before, it's a tourism based economy. We need musicians, we need artists, we need all kind of activities and programs and things to make the place interesting.
yes.
And that links directly to jobs and employment and, you know, income and all that kind of stuff. So um, we don't just see it as, oh, we're just doing a few, you know, youth programs. No, we're really trying to create sustainable livelihoods for individuals as well.
And
Culture.
and Jessica, maybe you might be able to testify to that because I don't see you germinating germinating seeds. You did your bachelor's in biology.
Yes. And you asked me the question on stage. I don't mind you asking me. You wanted to know what I did with my bachelor's degree?
Yeah, yeah.
The truth is, though, I realized in my last year of university, I had a moment where I had to take a step back and um, I realized that it doesn't matter what the science says at the end of the day. If people's mindsets and their worldviews and their main priorities, you're trying to feed your family, that's an immediate issue. You want to talk to people about climate change, right? They're all important, but we have to look at how things are interconnected if we really, really want to see positive change happen all around us. So to me, I took more of a social science approach to the same things that I was interested um, in biology.
Right, right. That's the point I was trying to bring up because I think academics is kind of overemphasized too much, as in it reached a point where, all right, if you're not good with academics, then you're outcast, and
Mhm.
focus isn't made on skills and the arts, and these other stuff. And Akila House says the arts are important, but mostly I see a creative person is not taken seriously as an academically minded person. Time to
True.
change that and embrace. Well, yeah, same point I was making.
Yes, sir.
Because I mean, I'm sure Jessica, when you were doing your bachelor's, probably you were all taken up academically, and you probably had a different mindset to know where you're doing more um work with in the humanities with more social work, I would say, working in the non-profit sector.
But I think ultimately, to regardless to what your background is, right, to engage in diversity in terms of information that you collect and things that you learn and so on. For me, it is always an ongoing process. The way I look at things is like we learn stuff every single day here at the hub. Every single day, people. I have people who are more experienced than me in the field of producing music and do all these things, and they come here and show me stuff all the time. I show them stuff too, and so that's the way we've been doing it really. But that diversity is extremely important because you know what it's like when you have a TV and it have 50 channels as opposed to a black and white TV with just one channel.
Yeah,
So that is kind of like a comparison still.
No, I think it's a good point too because even if you end up not doing something in the arts world as your career, the fact that you're developing another aspect of yourself, you're making yourself a more holistic person. It'll help you find work, it'll help you find connections. It's just being able to use your brain in the different facets, you know, rather than just always using one side of your brain and
Mhm.
thinking of, you know, one dimensionally.
yeah,
And don't ever think that you're helpless because you're intelligent, multidimensional entity capable of doing almost anything. You know what I mean? So there's another way to look at yourself because the state of mind that you look at yourself in still is really hugely important. State of mind. All these
right.
things, all these are ideas that we share with young people when they come here, you know, because we find them to be true from experience.
I want to say shout out to Miss Stephanie Brown. Good night. It's a good program. Love it.
Thank
So
you, Steph.
Thank you.
let's get right into your activities. What some of the let's give the viewers an idea of some of the work you did over the years, some of the projects and some of the programs that you have running for the youth.
No problem. So before COVID hit, we had a lot of different courses and weekly drop-in classes. Mind you, we just opened early 2020, the Creative Arts Center, but we had drop-in classes in painting. So Colin leads these weekly painting sessions, and they're really, really amazing. We get to mix all kind of. We have young people, we have tourists coming in, we have experienced artists coming in, and everybody paints all together, share knowledge and information. We also had some drumming courses with Nzembu from St. Vincent, which were really amazing. Some djembe drums. And it was so amazing that we actually started building our own drums. So we're almost done building our own drums, and then we can open up weekly classes for anybody to drop in and have a try at it. We had yoga
Nice, nice.
classes. We had community yoga classes. What else? Voice training, songwriting workshops, filming classes, modeling. Uh, Anything else I'm missing?
Yeah, spoken word. A few people been doing a bit of that too.
Yeah, dancing. And then we also have our shop, which I'm personally really excited about. It's in the same Creative Arts Center, and we sell strictly locally made products, nothing from China in the shop. So we have like jewelry and fine art. There's music for sale. There's clothing, books. We have books in there too. And then our music studio, which we're in right now, which is a really exciting element of the hub.
So basically, all the arts feed
Yeah.
into the shop, so that keeps the programs running.
Hmm.
Exactly. So you're creating ways of, okay, we have singers, and the singers are learning how to develop their songwriting ability. They're developing their vocal training. They have a place where they can record their own music. We have a festival every year called the Positive Vibes Festival, and that's a live outlet for them to perform with a live band. And then for artists that are creating things, they can sell it right in the shop. So everything, the way we've tried to develop the hub is that things are interlinked. The film program, get film students to make music videos for these artists. So there's different ways that everything kind of builds as one.
Yes.
Right. So let's go through some photos. I have some photos here that you sent. So let's do the drumming. You're gonna just explain quickly what we're looking at.
Yeah, well, there are, if you notice, there are some drums finished and some not finished.
Right.
So, what we're doing is trying to extend our numbers. Trying to get more drums because when Inzimbo comes over, he normally takes his drums back with him. He bring like 12 drums every day, and he take the drums back in the
Right.
evening. So we are now just trying to create our own drums so we could get this thing going on a regular basis. Yeah. So the ones in the back are new drums there. This is part of the workshop. The one of the first workshops that we had with in Zimbo, some of the young people.
Right.
Another angle, same gathering, same thing again. Hmm.
But how long these drumming classes would normally run for?
Um, we had two sets of courses. The first one was just like, I think it was over 2 or 3 days. And then we had a 6 week program where they came for 2 hours once a week.
Right.
But part of the idea with that drumming course with Nzembu was for him to also share his knowledge with us so that between ourselves at the hub, we're also able to work together to carry on the programs on a weekly basis.
Mhm.
Right. So let's see what other folder we could go to. The painting. So tell me about what we're seeing here now.
Hmm. Well, every evening what we do, well, as you can see, we have everything spread out there on the table. We have paints, we supply paints, we supply paper, supply brushes, but we encourage people to get their own stuff too, right? But we have stuff here at the hub that we could actually use. So what we do mostly is just put up a subject, and I will paint like really quickly a subject up there on the board, and then the people will try to duplicate it, and I will go around and assist them and give them tips on so how they could improve what they're doing. So this is our art class.
Nice. I told you, Colin, I told you I'm coming to do some painting,
Yes,
and
no
I
problem,
serious.
no
I
problem.
serious when I going on vacation, my vacation will be spent
Yeah.
trying to paint, trying to paint something.
Hmm. Great experience, man.
So is this the horizon line?
Yeah, you could say that
Yeah.
in progress.
You see, I know a thing or two, I know a thing or two
Yeah.
about painting. Coming in
I
at
do
least
painting
with
classes,
the when I come
and
to
I'm
learn
nothing
painting,
about
I coming in at least with the horizon line. I know to start with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's one of my paintings, and I knew nothing about painting going in,
Right.
and
So,
I
so people actually learning skills for real. It's not just a hangout thing. They actually people actually getting the ideas that you're trying to show them. So that is quite fulfilling too. Yeah.
Right.
that's our center manager, Anthony Sargent. So he's
Right.
the one who's in here 5 days a week, and that oversees all the different activities and programs that are happening. He's hugely instrumental to the hub.
True. And as you can see, he's turning into a brilliant artist too.
Mhm.
Never paint before. Never paint.
Yeah.
True.
Well, when I come, I gotta paint clouds
Yeah.
and the sea.
To paint
Seems like
anything, man.
seems like that's the introductory piece.
Yeah.
I see some older folks
Hmm.
over the corner painting also.
Yes. It's interesting to have everybody together because people have all these different ideas from different backgrounds and so on too. It's really interesting.
And
Right.
even like when tourists come in, it gives
Mm-hmm.
people such an authentic experience to really meet people and connect with people, get to know one another, and it really creates beautiful friendships. It really does.
Yeah, it's part of the experience because a lot of the tourism is shifting away from because the sun and sun. People want to see people.
Mm.
They want to get the experiences. So this is the shop.
Stanton, I'm not sure we can hear you so well.
So is this the shop?
Yes, yes, yes. This is the shop all locally made products and so on. We encourage people that have small items that they make in Bequia, even anywhere in St. Vincent and the Grenadines still. Um, they could approach us to sell this stuff in our shop too. That's what we're trying to promote too.
So right now we have 20 different artists that feature their work in our shop. Um, and the way we deal with it is consignment based. So the majority of the profits go right back to the artists, and we keep a small percentage to help sustain the organization.
Right.
Mhm.
Some local wine.
So it's
Uh,
damsel wine.
there's sorrel and all kind of different
Five
flavors.
fingers. Hmm. Danny. That's the name of the photo. Photo. Danny.
Mm.
Danny is the other lady. Co-founder too.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And I see you have some um some pieces, the two buses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's a young guy in Bequia that makes them. That was just like a natural thing for him when he was
right.
good. He's a bit is he artistic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to live in Union at one time, and he was
Yes.
really. I used to be amazed at how he replicates
Mhm.
some of these vehicles and other stuff using cardboard alone.
You see, this type of thing, Stanton, is what you will see in Bequia 100 times over. Bequia is just full of all different types of talent. People could sing, they could dance, they could build things, they could do this, they could. Everything is going on here. So
Right.
that's why we feel so committed to try to do something about it in terms of harnessing it and turning it into something profitable. You know.
Right. I don't think, and we have some images from the rehearsals, the
Hmm.
positive vibes festival.
Mhm.
I don't think you could have come up with a better name than the
Yeah.
hub,
Yeah,
because it's
because
really
it's exactly what it is. Yes.
it's really the center
Yes.
of
So these
everything.
are the musicians and the performers. He just about to do some rehearsals for the Positive Vibes Festival. That was last year, late last year.
Last year December.
Yes. Star.
Yeah.
That's the name of the one.
So
Star. This is
so
our
good in
friend Amanda Gooden. Amanda is
Amanda good in.
a singer-songwriter from Bequia too. Real brilliant talent.
Mhm.
And she works with us here in the studio at the hub, doing a lot of stuff, helping out the youths and things too. So we really appreciate Amanda a whole lot too.
Mhm.
Respect.
Tremendously.
Respect. This is a photo of a live performance that I did recently at the hub here for a fringe. There's an organization in Barbados that promote music and stuff like that too. So we were just doing a performance day in light of the whole George Floyd issue and so on. That was a fundraiser as well. So we was happy to be involved in that.
Right.
Can you play that video? Is it gonna work?
Let me see if
Oh, video.
We can't hear it.
This is our young brother here, Sika, one of the first persons that come out the hub. Actually, boss, as he say, if first person who boss his song, and Sika doing pretty good right now. Since he did his song, he won a couple competitions. He racking up them trophies and thing.
mm,
Stanton. He doing
this
it,
is
man.
what was his name?
Sika.
Sika, he is
Sika.
the guy that did the song called "Poor Life."
Right, yeah, Poor Life. Well, we're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear that soon. We're gonna hear
True.
that shortly. So this is the
And the thing that I want to mention about this
uh,
too is that these youths actually sit down and write their own material. I mean, sometimes I help them out to get things running smooth and so on, but basically most of this is coming from them, and I encourage them to do that. It's such a brilliant thing to be able to express yourself like that.
but this is from the dancehall. This is from the dancehall genre, but
Yes,
but clean dancehall.
yes, definitely. Everything that is recorded in the hub studio will be clean.
Right.
Yeah.
We get another space again.
Mhm.
Yeah, because young people we're dealing with and we want them to, you know what I mean, have some respect and decency too.
And also, we're very conscious of the impact that music and words and all that kind of stuff have. So it's important for us to push out a message that is in line with the values of the organization as well.
Precisely.
Mm. This is I remember this guy from the from one of them concerts a while ago. This is Ghoul.
The famous J Ghoul.
Yeah, I
Segul
had to
is a
come,
famous man all over the world. Eh.
I had to come and touch base with Ghoul, man. I remember he had a lot of jokes.
He's a character.
So, so Jegul is joining us every year too. We just have a lot of fun, have a lot of good times with Jegul always, and Jegul always in a nice, positive, high spirit. That's what we love about Jegul. Jegul ain't
Yeah.
no issue, ain't no issue. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd come and visit.
Jiggle have a big personality.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. We didn't get to spend enough time. Let me see what's going on in this clip now.
Okay, so this is the Cool Vibes band here. This band,
So
now
who's singing in this clip now?
Not sure.
I haven't seen them yet. I'm not really hearing it too loudly. So
We're not hearing it from our end.
What was the name?
okay, this is the Cool Vibes band based in Bequia, but these
Mm.
guys work a lot on the cruise ships and so on. They are
Oh,
mainly working on the cruise ships, but we try to make it so they could be here um during the time of the
oh,
festival.
that's Abuza.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're doing a bit of rehearsing too. So this band is really a super band. These guys are really, really talented because where they walk out there on the ships, they are playing every single day. So you could imagine everything tight like wedge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's quite a great thing to have them walking along with us. Those brothers are really good too, man. You know what I mean? When they
Right.
walk with the youths, they share as much as they can with the young people. It's like, wow, it's not just like they're just doing a job. They understand that
Hmm.
we're working on development too. So they
Mm.
take time to give information to the youths.
This is one of our youngest performers. She's 8 years old and she was playing a cappella at the last show.
Hmm. Great singer. Young girls, real great singer, good timing, good voice, good everything. This is somebody we're looking forward to
Mm.
in the future to
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah. You could hear it. You could hear it in the voice.
yes.
You could hear the you could hear it.
Yes.
So let's talk about let me get this off. Let's talk about the Positive Vibes Festival. Um what's the main objectives for the Positive Vibes Festival?
Well, as we kind of hinted before, Positive Vibes Festival is a part of a series of activities that we're doing that culminating as one thing ultimately. But positive vibes is the thing, is the glue that keep the people together. Is the thing that make people get confidence in themselves because it's a real live show, full decorated stage, full live band. Everything is a real experience. It's not just like you're going up and singing a little instrumental or something like that. This is very powerful. So we are exposing these youths to all of this because I personally too have had these experiences before and I know how powerful and constructive they are in terms of building your personality and yourself, right? So that is definitely the main thing that we get in from the Positive Vibes Festival. In addition to that, it's a really beautiful thing because you have a lot of talented young people who singing some beautiful songs. You're seeing some nice modeling going on. All the stuff that is modeled is made by creative people at the hub and other people that we know too. So positive vibes is a meeting place of all creativity and you know,
It's also a
Right.
showcase of what we've been up to for the last year, a culmination of all the things that come together, you know?
yes.
Mm.
And
Well,
it's
we got a comment. Uh-huh. Yeah, go ahead, Colin.
no, it's really important still because when you have all this going on, it's really a nice idea to have somewhere to exhibit it, so that people
Mm.
could see this for real, not just us talking about it, right?
Hmm.
True.
Right. So we want to go to a comment quickly. Camille Balfour says, good program. Like was said, there seems to be a major disconnect between the educational system and reality. The focus on the primary system seems to be on CPA. Children are generally not taught to think. It's mainly textbooks and routine learning. It's in high school, the focus is on passing CXC. Yeah, this is so true. What about those children who are not academically inclined? They just drop out by the way. What
Yes.
is the future like for them? Education should be linked to the needs of the country and for the provision. Yeah, so it comes back to the Prime Minister for Barbados, because what they observe is that they have a lot of dropouts, and the entire system is causing a lot of dropouts. And one way to correct that is by looking at at what point they branch off from academics into, and I think they want to do it like at Farm 2 or even Farm 3, somewhere there about.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So we have Colin. You are visionary. Great work. That's from Kedisha Compton.
Thank you, sister.
And Marvin Saxon says, "Good night, the Grenadines and the people of my beautiful Union Island. Good night, Miss Saxon." We
Blessing.
have Wilson Doris. This festival only in Bequia, or do you travel workshop throughout the Grenadines?
Well, we definitely have intentions to travel in different areas, but at this point, we just want to refine what we're doing first, bring it up to a level where everybody is functioning on a professional basis, so that when we go out there, we're looking for real results. We don't want to, most of the exposure that we need. I think we could get it in that fashion there too, right? But being able to go out there, you must be ready. I would say that.
We have done things like the Mystique Charitable Trust has an annual craft fair that they do. So last year we were invited, and what we did is that we selected a few of the hub performers from the Positive Vibes Festival, and we made like a smaller version of the show. It was on tracks and that sort of thing, but at least for people to get an experience and to get a taste of what we do.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Right. And we have Kadisha says, Bequia is full of talent. Happy to see you guys tapping into it and investing in the youths.
Respect.
And Kadisha also says, is it possible to collaborate with this mission with the Ministry of Education? Right. So have you ever tried collaborating with the Ministry of Education on maybe one way or the other?
Well, the idea came up before for sure. It's just something we have not stepped to yet, but we have had discussion to the effect that the people that go to school here in Bequia, young people, the hub could become a part of that curriculum. Just something added to just to create some diversity in your thinking, because this is so important to not have a closed, simple, straightforward way of thinking only, but look at other possibilities.
A big part of what we're trying to do right now is to build the sustainability of the organization, make sure that it stays as a staple within Beckway. Um,
Hmm.
and so these kind of relationships with different organizations, with government, and so on and so forth, I think are critical in the long term.
Yeah,
Totally.
and yeah, it's also important for you to be sustainable financially as well, too, because they have a lot of programs going on. You have a lot of stuff doing, and
Yeah,
you know,
and as you mentioned before too, right? It's kind of like a work in progress still, and we are already seeing it as a model that other people in other communities in this country and where else could actually adapt these ideas and actually make a lot of great things happen for themselves. You know,
Mhm.
and
yeah, because
like what's happening right now at the hub, a lot of great things happening here.
yeah, man, we need a hub in Union and on Myro and on Canoan.
I
Yes,
think
yes.
one thing that's really important for me to mention is that this was started completely at the grassroots. No money, no funding, nobody approached us to do. We just came up with the idea, started to build it. Most of the renovations were done by volunteers and ourselves on weekends and evenings, and we just knew what we wanted to get done, and we just try to figure out ways to get there.
Yes.
Right. And Olivier's asking, does the hub have a Facebook page? Man, I just noticed this is nothing going on in the hub. I trying to read it like how you know
Yeah, yeah.
very interesting
That's
program where they're going to this.
that's
Good
Baldwin.
night. Good night,
Big,
Balwin.
big up
Uh,
yourself.
I hope
Thanks for
We have a Facebook page, by the way.
yeah, I'm gonna just gonna bring up the thing just when we finish the comments. And Baldwin, I hope you're ready for the regatta in October in Union Island. Hope your gumboat is ready.
Hmm.
Samuel Alexander says watching from Phoenix City, Alabama. Good program. We appreciate the platform. So let's get the banner up for the website. So the website is thehubsvg.com.
Mhm.
Facebook and Instagram is the Hub Collective, and you could email them on at info at the hubsvg.com. So we would leave that up for a little while. Let's talk about the studio, Jessica and Colin. You guys built a studio basically, from
Yeah.
my understanding.
Yes.
Tell me about the progress of the studio.
Yeah. Well, I've been involved in music for quite a while, as you know, quite a while. Um, so I accumulate some good experience over the years, writing songs, producing stuff, and I mean that type of thing. So being here at the hub and having all this singing and stuff going on, it was just natural for us to have a studio. It just made sense, right? And we was always thinking about it, so it just manifests. But the experience itself of running this hub, this studio, wow, it's really amazing. We've been doing this for like 3 or 4 months now, I would say. And the amount of people that come here so far, I would not imagine that it would be that way. But that's the way it's going. We have a lot of people coming here to record. We have 15 young singers. We're making songs for them right now in the studio. As you see, we released some of them already. We have 10 songs in progress. Some of them are almost finished. Some of them just starting out and so on. But we have a lot of things coming on the pipeline from the studio. We want to use the studio also for many other things relating to outputs, you know what I mean, whatever we feel we want to record, and we encourage other people to from outside to come and record and do your stuff at the hub because we take our time and we do a quality job for you. So it's really great if people could start to think like that too.
Right. And what would be the how would persons be able to come in and record?
Well, there are two conditions really as we're speaking now. One is that the young people that sing on the Positive Vibes Festival, they are like, as we say, family and children of ours. So we have special privilege for them because these are the people who stay dedicated and focus on what they're doing, and these are the very people in the studio recording right now.
Mhm.
So this is really great, guys. You're gonna hear a lot of real great songs coming out really soon, one after the next. And the way we choose to approach it is just to do the work. We have a lot of musicians that we know in Bequia that are our close friends. They come in the studio and help us to put tracks down to do stuff. So we are always doing stuff, you know.
Mhm.
So this is gonna end up somewhere great.
Mhm. And then it's also available to the public. So if anybody wants to connect with Colin through the email address that was up just a few minutes ago,
Yes.
we have rates and that kind of stuff for the various services that the music studio provides.
Right. So I'm seeing some comments coming in. Maybe we didn't touch it. I don't know. I missed it. So the entire hub, the hub collective, the entire organization, the hub collective Inc. It's a non-profit organization, right?
Yeah, correct. So we're a Vincentian nonprofit organization. We're managed by a board of directors, and we exist to support the community in the arts. Um, the programs that we have that are paid for just help sustain and run the operations, pay rent, lights, electricity, that sort of thing. Lights and
Basically.
Right.
electricity is the same
Yeah, the
thing, but
typical
lights.
model for
But we
non-profits.
hope, we hope to we hope to evolve things eventually into a situation where we could be totally self-sustaining and also to, and I mean, have people actually be working here on a permanent basis.
I think that's an important point, Colin. A lot of people see the nonprofit model as everybody has to volunteer their energies, and you don't have a business approach to it. But for us, we see it more akin to social enterprise, is much more sustainable. And just because you're a nonprofit doesn't mean that you can't employ people on the grounds. It just means that the organization itself doesn't hold any profit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a lot to learn from that approach in helping to develop communities.
Yeah, there's a lot to what needs to be done. I think while we're talking about nonprofits, there needs to be more education on on nonprofits and how sustainability, financial sustainability, because you're seeing where a lot of nonprofits are failing, especially across the Grenadines. You have a lot in Union Island,
Mm-hmm.
and um, they're failing because of lack of education for the nonprofit sector. It's totally different, and especially financial sustainability. Persons get mixed up between volunteerism and actually working for a nonprofit. So that's a whole different conversation.
True.
Let's go. Let's get some comments quickly. We have Kadisha Compton says, "How does the platform you're presenting prepare those involved for an independent future/workforce?"
Well, that is acquired by mainly learning skills, right? Learning skills. For instance, we, as we say, we have painting classes going on. You could turn that into a career if you want, and this is a very beautiful environment to do it in. This is a tourism place, so this could be really good. So that's one aspect of development. The studio is another angle where people recording music and creating opportunity for themselves, because that's the main thing we're doing now. We cannot promise anybody that we're gonna make them a star or do any of these things. What we could promise the people is that we will do something to assist them on their journey and make them, you know what I mean, feel comfortable about these things that they embarking upon, because we have experience prior to that, and we could share this experience all the time.
And we're also interested in connecting and collaborating with other artists regionally and beyond. The idea being to help develop our own internal capacity at the
Yes,
hub
yes,
to deliver these services, to look at things like how to monetize music, get onto Spotify and iTunes, and the legality aspect of it and that sort of thing. So we're always open to growing, and we never pretend like we have the solution or the answer to anything, to
mm,
everything either.
yeah. So it's like
And
turning
for what
when the lights turn on, the people gonna see the lights. So what we're doing right now is turning on the lights. Mm-hmm.
yeah, what I see is most of the arts would end up feeding into the tourism sector. The drumming could be used for hotels and entertainment, basically. So most of the arts would end up feeding into the
Mm-hmm.
tourism sector, and even more. The singing. We have an next comment. Great job, brother. Bequia is full of enough greatness. Colin was always involved in these kinds of stuff. Is that true, Colin?
Yeah, as far as I can remember, since I was a really young guy, I was always trying to like get people organized and so on. We had some football teams and so before, and I had a lot of people in the team that was much older than I was, and they was listening to me. Not to boast, is just to say that I was always connected to all of that, and it was always genuinely coming from my heart. So I guess sometimes people see it when you approach things like that. That is for real. That
And
carry a
now,
lot of.
now you're the Rasta man with a vision.
Well, you can see that if you want. you know. Yeah.
We get the next comment. Good night, guys. I'm just tuning in, but just want to say thanks to you guys for making one of Marlon's dream a reality. Marlon's dream a reality. I've been getting good reviews on his song. Thanks a million for embracing him. Maybe it's time for me to drop by and do my thing. This
Aye.
is
Yes.
from hey, good night, good night, good night, Miss Olivier. How are you doing?
Yeah, Sunny. Thanks a lot for
Sunny, yeah.
does a lot of brilliant work in the community as well in Paget Farm.
Yes.
She's quite an exceptional woman herself.
Positive.
Yeah. Met her at one of the Radio Grenadines workshop in Bequia.
Mhm.
Haven't been in touch as we should, but I follow her posts, Facebook or social media posts.
Yeah. So you have a lot of power too.
Right. So if you're now joining us, I'm gonna quickly summarize what we were talking about. Basically talking to Colin and Jessica, two members, founding members of the Hub Collective. It's a non-profit on Bequia. And in that hub, they collectively house and run a whole lot of programs especially in the arts, painting, drumming. They have a concert, a festival, the Positive Vibes Festival. Um, they have yoga classes, and they're now embarking on a music studio and you know getting positive feedback from persons with especially the youths hitting it big in music. Did any justice there, Colin, Colin and Jessica,
We
in
need to
that
hire,
summary?
we need to hire you as our PR guy.
Yeah, man.
Right. So let's get the next comment. I remember when I was really young too and seeing you work, and now you're teaching youths. Enough respect to both of you and all involved.
Thank you.
And did I hear drumming and Nzibo? Then I guess soon you should be calling on all the knowledge of the drummers on Union Island.
Yeah, well, we definitely could do that. As we say, we all about interaction. We love it, collaboration and interaction, and we could definitely organize something like that. To have an interaction, people could come here and teach their skills too. That's what we're doing, man.
Yeah, and I saw a comment. Let me try to get it back. So do persons have to pay for studio use, or are you non-profit? Well, we're coming back to the same
Well, as
the
we
same, yeah,
yeah,
the same education and non-profits,
yes,
where persons get mixed up with non-profit meaning free.
yeah. Well, it is the organization is not in it to become rich. All the funds that are collected is used right back in the functioning of the group, and we still even need a lot more because we intend to embark on a lot more things, extending in different directions in terms of like people learning to play instruments. We in the process of like actually gathering some instruments and all these things right now. So it's just a whole broad perspective still we taking on this.
Right. And for
So
persons out there who think that non-profit is free, it's far from the truth. Non-profit doesn't mean free. It all means that it just means that after all of the activities at the end of the year, if you whatever monies you leave back with has to go back into the organization, as opposed to a for-profit company, a regular company or business. Those profits could end up getting shared up between the owners of the company.
Yeah.
But a non-profit, all of the profit, all of the money, the surplus, um, you would have to pump it back into the organization, or it has to be used for the for the community, or for some development. So that's the only difference between a company and a non-profit. Everything else is basically the same. You pay salaries, you charge for the use of stuff, or you charge in the studio, is that charge for studio time.
Yeah, that's how you keep it going because
Yeah, I mean, what might
imagine
be different is the cost would be less because it's not a full
money
business.
making thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's a quick crash course for persons who think that non-profit means free.
But we do, I mean, we said it a bit earlier, but just to be clear, we work with a lot of young people in the studio, and those young people don't pay. Those young people are selected based on merit and commitment,
Right.
having performed in the shows, showing up, writing their own music. That's how those youths get elevated to the opportunity to be able to perform to record for free in the
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah. So if you just meet somebody who is randomly just coming to the studio from somewhere else, we cannot just do all that work for free.
Yeah.
At least have to have something coming from it to keep the sustenance of the thing, right? Because
Yeah, and that's the good thing about non-profits. some of this stuff could be free as opposed to a regular business because you could, as you said, on a merit system. Yeah, whereas a company, everything would be strictly paid for because it's along the profit line. So I have a next comment from Amanda. Says all we as artists need is an opportunity and a chance. Thank you to the hub for stepping up and giving those youths just that.
Thank you to Amanda. Thank you very much.
And we
And
would get
we
hmm,
appreciate you coming to the hub to do your part too and contribute
Seriously.
to the whole project that we're working on. We regard you highly for that. Enough respect.
right. We would get into funding just in a minute. We want to play two clips. Somebody's asking, how can someone contribute to this initiative? That's Keisha Compton. So maybe Colin and Jessica, you could address this question
I'm gonna
now.
take out my notes. I have it written down. I don't want to miss anyway. So, number one is through donations and financial support. We need to reach sustainability. And in order for us to do that, we want to invest in a few things within the organization to give us the capacity to be more independent financially. If anybody wants to make donations coming from Canada or the US or the UK, contact us and we can organize for you to have charitable tax receipts through other organizations. And then we also have a donation link on our website, www.thehubsvg.com. There it is. We're also running a used instruments program. So we're trying to collect used instruments like guitars and bass, drums, keyboards, so that we can teach young people music. Because we're not doing that currently, and we'd really like to. So if anybody has used instruments, we'd gladly take them, and we can figure out a way to get them shipped and all that kind of stuff if they're not in Bequia or in St. Vincent. You can also volunteer or lead a workshop with us if you have specific skills and knowledge that you think would be beneficial to share with young people. So contact us for that, and shop here, support the small boutique that we have, because that's definitely one aspect of making this whole thing work too.
True.
Right. And Wilson does ask is asking, so where do you solicit funds for all you do, buying equipment, etc.? So what we want to do, we want to go. Let's go to how you raise funding, and then we'll come back to some tracks because from the studio. So how do you raise funding?
Mm-hmm.
How do you raise funds?
So our approach is really to look at not only one source of funding, but really diversify where we get financial support from. So yes, we write grants. Yes, we ask for local sponsorships for our Positive Vibes Festival. We accept donations. But we are looking to create ways for the center to make money on its own too. So there's the shop, like I was saying, the music studio, which we spoke at length about, through services offered to the public, and then our classes and programs that we have here. And the way our classes are structured, it's donation based, or they're heavily subsidized if we get funding. But we always make sure that our programs are accessible to everybody. So something like a sliding scale. If you can afford it, here's the actual price for the course. If you can't, then we work with what people can afford, or we provide subsidies so that young people can attend our courses.
True.
Right, and we have a pledge from Compton. Khadija, she said, I have some used instruments. If you can help with shipping, I will be more than happy to send them through.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
That is really great.
We'll connect with you after all of this. Thank you.
True.
And she also said, well, the Grenadines wonderful program makes me feel like I'm home. That's the idea. So I'm glad you feel that way. So let's get to some music. We want to hear from this young man. We want to hear from this young man um that everyone is talking about. Let me get the website up. right. So this is basically a website. We're gonna try to get some videos. And Khadija says sewing. She also has some sewing equipment.
Okay.
Right. So which one of these tracks? So these tracks were recently released, right?
Yes, sir.
Which one you want me to look at for us?
Any-
Seekers?
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Oh yeah, was Seekers saying there.
That was the first track that we released.
Oh, this
yeah,
is the first one.
yeah. He Sika is just 12 years old, and Sika is living in Paget Farm down past the airport area down there. And he have another brother that's doing the same thing too. And they have like a little group that they get together and do their own singing and writing their own songs. So I find it was very inspiring. So that's how Sika really became a part of what we're doing here too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Colin, you hearing this, right?
Not really. We hear it, but very, very faintly.
No.
All right. Let me try to start back the share once again.
Let me tell you this.
How about that?
There we go. That works.
My name is Seeker. Let me tell you this. Whole life, I will live in the ghetto. Only one shoes, but they tell in the ghetto. Used to wear the one shoes all over all of school. Used to wear the one shoes. And all of my friends used to trouble me. But me know some of them are fake when I see. Listen to me now, my name is Seeker. And right now, me come for go mash up the speaker. Me bust my first song when me did 12 years old. Let me tell you this, boy. One thing we know, me have to make it out the ghetto. So me I set up me things and I try hard to catch my flow. So this is the whole life we live, everything down low. Let me tell you this, whole life in the ghetto. Let me tell you this, we want more life in the ghetto. Whole life in the ghetto. Let me tell you this, we want more life in the ghetto. I just
Right. And persons could visit the website. Just located under initiatives, the hub SVG under initiatives, and you would get it to continue to listen to that track. So, Colin, this is Sika.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah. Sika got a lot of potential. Sika working on another track right now with Amanda. Two of them supposed to be doing something together. So that would be interesting too.
And Sika actually won the title of Prince at the, I'm gonna get the name wrong, but the SVG Performing Arts Festival, which looks at all of the primary school students across the country. So he ended up winning first place for that song and his performance.
Nice. Whenever we connecting with the hub again, we had to get him on the on the conversation tree.
Yes,
So
sir.
and then this is once again this is dancehall genre, but clean dancehall. He's singing about poor life, no gun violence, etc.
True.
So let's look at Gen X. This who was the Malone's
That's him.
Malone song. Oh,
Gen X
right.
is stage
So
name.
this is the hottest thing coming out from the hub
The song
studio.
was just launched yesterday, by the way. Yesterday morning we launched the song. And it's done gone past 1,000 views. I find that is really beautiful.
Wow.
Nobody know this guy, nobody know this person, but you know something is happening. We like
Right.
that.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Sometimes I mean don't know if I do. Life ain't easy, I feel go with the flow. Not everything I get say I feel show. I've enough people want to say up on the flow. Man, I try for though, I just grow. Make it in a life, but they have to roll. I sometimes me look up to the most high. They pressure so much, me got this in my eyes. Oh, why the world I feel go so? Them one see everybody pull. That's why me hold me head high now, open to our soul. Cause me know they want see me carry roll. Them say me never make it. My self-esteem me try to wreck it. Even family not like you. Sometimes me feel like no one have me back. Friends look for them, they don't drop, but they see, oh no. I spend my neck freeze, and me chilling on straight to the sky and I'm spaceship. What you mean? Say man, if you make it, oh no. I spend my neck freeze, and me chilling on straight to the sky and I'm spaceship. What you mean? Walk a lonely road, let me alone with chat it. Keep my feelings down in my pocket. No matter who you give them, I mash it and crash it, yeah. Trust no soul, don't tell them your goal. No matter if you have to roll alone. Me no expect everybody to understand this. Not everyone is on the same planet. Stop judge people, me just can't stand it. Oh no. I spend my neck freeze, and me chilling on a show to the sky and I'm spaceship. What you mean? Say man, if you make it. Oh no. I spend my neck freeze, and me chilling on a show to the sky and I'm spaceship. What you mean? Sometimes I mean don't know if I do. Life ain't easy, I feel go with the flow. Not everything I get say I feel show. I've enough people want to say.
So this is how old is this youth, Colin?
16.
16.
16 years old, yeah. And this guy wrote most of the lyrics in the song too. Just a little tweaking here and there again as usual, but the concepts and the style and everything come from them. For me, this is really brilliant to see a young guy like this just come up with these type of concepts. If he keep working for a little while more, man, professional.
Yeah, man. The studios are already bringing out some stars,
Yeah, man.
and
Yeah.
then we have the old veteran,
Man himself.
Colin Peters.
Okay.
You have an album. You have an album that you did recently. Well, some months ago. That was with a studio in Barbados. Colin.
We produce most of the music ourselves, me and a friend of mine, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was before you set up the studio.
Yes.
So this is a recent one. This is
Well, this is the first song actually bust out of the hub studio. Really, this was like a trial thing,
right.
but it is a song about the present situation in the world with the pandemic too, right?
Right.
So all of that going on. So the lyrics is talking to that really still.
So this is a COVID song.
Yes.
We were going on it.
This is a warning. The world is on her knees, so alarming. And we long to get some ease, and I don't know why we don't see the karma that we sow is our destiny. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, let's go. A redemption time, state of emergency. What's your state of mind? Hey, 1 in a million. We got one more chance to get it right. 1 in a million chances. 1 in a million. Stand up, stand up, stand up for life. 1 in a million chances. And they say, let's come together and fight as one. But when the war is over, See the battle has now begun. More separation down in the ghetto. And no matter how you twist, only love can conquer this. Manifestation time. You gotta get all that traffic out you.
Right. So that's the Rastaman voice, man.
Hey,
That's the voice.
yes, brother. Yeah,
Colin,
brother.
you have a money voice, man.
Yeah, well, we still waiting for money come in.
You have a big money voice there,
Yeah,
Colin.
brother, we're just doing it, you know.
Right.
If I could just hint on something to right, about
Mm.
the music still right. I don't know if you familiar with this or what, but who was actually well, we started off playing reggae music, conscious music when I was just starting out to play music. And at one point now we was actually moving into a more commercialized kind of sound like doing soca music and all these things, right? But after
Mm.
a while now doing this thing, you really checking it out to see you understand the power of this music. And I always thought that we should do something more important with the power of this music. So
Yeah.
that is the thing that made me um, go back to where we started in terms of bringing over this conscious message and this positive way to the people. And it really don't matter to me whether or not I'm a big star or not like that. It really don't matter to me. You know what I mean? So I am doing something that I know is important, and eventually in the passage of time, this thing is going to manifest and be very helpful to people because we take time to think about what we're saying. So our music is not just to get drunk and jump up and have a party.
Right. And where persons can find your, because I know I want to play some songs from your album, but I know if I play it, if depends on how it's copyrighted, it would kind of freeze up this whole show. But where can persons locate your album?
Well,
What's the name of the album, Colin?
the the name of the album is When Love Is King.
Right.
Yeah, and the album can be bought here in the shop that we have in the hobby too. And I want to say to people that the way we sell the music is not on a CD because right now is getting so difficult to find CD players, right?
Right.
We evolving into something else. So we have a card that have information and codes on it that allow you to download this album. So if, for instance, you live in Canada or London and you would like to purchase music, you still can. All I have to do is send the information and the codes to you. You go into the website and you could just download it same way.
Right. What about online? Persons could buy the tracks online.
I had a website set up and we run into some issues with our website and the website is not functioning. And but at the moment, but that same thing that I was telling you about before, there
Right.
is actually our online setup for right now.
Right.
Yes.
And with everything with the hub, we're moving towards streaming platforms and that sort of thing. So in the coming months, that should all be activated.
True.
And I'm looking for some fresh reggae from you, Colin.
Somewhat.
Looking for some
Fresh reggae.
some fresh reggae, some spicy reggae.
Yeah, well, we working in the studio every day. So
Looking for something
right
fresh.
now, yeah, we have as we say, we have about 10 tracks for the youths, and I'm
Mm.
working on like about 5 different tunes for myself too. So
Right.
when I have
Nice.
time, I'll
Nice.
go to those. Yeah, so we're developing everything slowly, right? Yeah.
Nice. Someone's asking, great song, my brother. That symbol at the back, is that the logo for the hub?
That's my friend for real. I know you go ask a question like that. Um, the symbol at the back is an ancient Egyptian symbol that we adapt. It's not really like an official anything at the hobby really, but we like what it is defining. This symbol represent eternal life and fertility, which we identify all these things with the hub too. So we kind of embrace that symbol still, fertility, and eternal life.
Right.
That's what we hope for the hub.
Nice. And well, we winding down. We're almost to the end of the show. Colin and Jessica, how what was next for the hub? What do you have plan? What's the way forward? What do you have in the coming months?
Well, from all the things that we talk about, you could see that we are really in the process of creating a empire. Really, it might sound like a big word, but it's exactly what we're doing. We're creating an empire with all these different aspects of creativity that is culminating as one thing ultimately, and that's definitely the overall perspective, the overall general outlook. Um, we are also to top all of this off. We have the idea of introducing a radio station to the hub. We are in a lot of discussions with people concerning that and really trying to get it up and running as soon as possible. Because this is another thing that makes total sense to us too. Because we're making all this music, we want to do so much promotion and collaboration and interaction with people and so on. So, you know what I mean? Something like a radio station would be like the icing on the cake, but we are being cautious how we approach that and trying to be as professional as possible because we want to have intelligent programming and not just some waste of time thing, something that could you know what I mean manifest something real still.
Yeah, nice man, nice.
Yes, sir.
Any last remarks, Jessica?
I just want to thank everybody that really has supported the hub over the years now and who has held on to the vision and helped us manifest what we've accomplished so far. And as we said before, for us, the goal is to establish the hub as a permanent entity in Bequia, and really sustain itself over time. So we appreciate all the support and we need more of it.
Mhm.
And Stanton, thank you so much for organizing this. I tell you all the time, but I love the conversation tree. I love what it represents. And I think you're doing a
Mm.
brilliant job at it.
Yes,
So
sir.
hats off.
Mhm.
So Colin, what's the last closing statements before we wrap up this tree?
Well, my closing statements would be like the people that are involved in this exercise with us, this project, these projects. Um, I would like them to really look at what we're doing as a really feasible alternative in their life in a limited space, a space that's already don't provide too much for us, you know. So I would like these youths to focus on these things and see them as real viable alternatives, as I said, and continue to just move towards it. We inviting people to the hub always to come here and share what you have and see what we could share with you too. So that's the essential thing about it really. And as Jessica just mentioned, we want to make this thing a permanent entity in Beckway really still. Just really growing into the culture of the place because the same way you have a post office, we want the hub. You always have a post office, we must always have a hub too. So that's our outlook as to how we really checking this.
Nice man, and I'm looking forward to see maybe a push from the hub Bequia towards the other islands. Maybe how we could replicate similar if it's not an extension of the hub, but maybe how we could push to have creative arts centers
Yes.
in the other islands.
Mhm.
So
And
it's very important.
we are very willing to share our experience thus far too because you're gonna run into challenges, you're gonna run into a lot of things, right? So if you're kinda away from the beginning, it could be a little easier on you. Sure.
Yeah, and I must congratulate you guys though for keeping this thing running. It's not easy. Non-profit work is not easy. Community work is not easy at all. And to have it structured so that it could be sustainable, I don't really congratulate you guys to
Yes,
for
sir.
you know,
Thank
especially the
you.
amount of programs that you undertake as well. You know.
You see the fact that everything still runs back to one source and one ultimate conclusion makes it easier for us to embark on several different things at the same time too, because they're all still pointing to the same direction, right? Mhm.
Yeah, man. So this was it for the conversation. Trey. I wanna thank all the persons for logging on. Don't forget you could share the live. It would be permanently on the page where you could still share it for the persons who didn't couldn't make it to watch the program live. You could, so your share would still count. Still share it so that persons would, they have a lot of persons not usually in their spare time after they finish doing what they're doing, they go back and look at the program.
All
And
right.
Colin and Jessica, we're gonna link up in Bequia soon.
True.
Definitely.
Nothing beats the real person to person connection. The virtual world can't replace that.
That's true. That's true. The train.
Yeah. Can't make it. We had to link up in person, man. As usual, I like the energy.
Yeah,
And
but
and folks, if you're wrong, you need to go to Bequia. The hub the hub is one of the places. The hub is almost a tourist attraction now. The
yeah,
hub is one of the places that you have to visit. When do
yes.
you normally open, guys? I didn't ask you that. Was it opening hours?
We open 9 to 5 Monday to Saturday, but we're closed on Thursdays and Sundays. So open daily, 9 to 5, except Thursdays and Sundays.
Right. So we have some comments coming in. Lovely program. Congratulations, Grannies, for bridging the gap between the islands. Yeah, so true.
Very true.
And
Beautiful.
we have and great job, very informative as usual. Yeah, so for the persons in the UK, you could go to sleep now. It's almost past maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. And for the other persons, power of social media, keeping all connected, no boundaries, which wish you much future success.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to thank you guys for logging on. Don't forget to share. And Jessica and Colin, we're gonna link up in Bequia sometime very, very, very soon.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
All the best.
Yeah, all right.